Sa punto pong ito ay tunghayan natin ang panayam ng aming kasamang si Emil Carreon.
Maraming salamat sa pagpapatuloy ng ating balitaan. Narito tayo sa bahagi kung saan makakapanayam natin ng mga personalidad o mga resource persons na nasa likod ng mga balita. Ngayong umaga ay bisita po natin ang mga representative mula sa Embassy of Nigeria. Magandang umaga po sa ating mga bisita. Good morning, Your Excellencies and Your Honors. Good morning.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. This television station, a place of history, a station that had played monumental role in the evolution of democracy and all associated struggles. So I'm happy to be here. Happy to be here also because in Nigeria we have a government-owned television that is national in coverage. We call it the Nigerian Television Authority. I happen to have worked there before. So coming here is like coming home.
Oh, thank you so much. How do you see the economic relationship between the Philippines and Nigeria as a country-to-country or a government-to-government relationship?
Ordinarily, our relationship over the last 52 years have been mainly political and diplomatic. Support for each other in United Nations, non-aligned movement, South-South cooperation, and things like that. Nigeria supporting candidates put forward by Philippines, and Philippines doing the same thing. We have a very, very peaceful diplomatic relationship. But when it comes to economic relationship, there hasn't been much. And that is the area in which both governments are now focusing on. In December 2012, December 6 and 7, we had a joint commission holding in Abuja in Nigeria. That was the second session. The first session was held in 1975. So you see 27 years gap. That shows how uneventful our economic relationship had been. But both countries have decided that there are things they have in common. There are benefits they can get from each other. And so we decided that it is time to step up the economic relationship. And I guess this is why I'm here.
Ambassador, it is the right time and the ripe time for the market in the global scenario to shift from the Western to the Eastern, from the Americas and the Europeans to the Asian market, where Africa and Asia and Philippines and Asia belong. How do you see this as a paradigm shift in economics in the world scenario?
It is an inevitable situation. Given the kind of population that you have in Asia, for example, the kind of potential market that is available, it is inevitable that there will be a shift from the West in search of markets, in search of raw materials, in search of products to Asia. And we say that Africa is the next destination after Asia. We believe that in the N11 economies that are destined to rule the country in another 20, 30 years, the countries include Philippines, include Nigeria, they include the Asian and African countries. These are countries that still have resources to develop, resources to process. These are countries that have the market in terms of population, 100 million in Philippines, 177 million in Nigeria. And these are countries that have very youthful population, because it is one thing to have population that is aging. The population in Philippines is youthful. Nigeria has the fourth largest youthful population in the whole world, with over 60% being under 25. So you are not only talking of today, you can begin to talk of tomorrow. So we believe that we have a lot in common. We share the same history of colonialism, of dictatorship, civilian in your own case, military in our own case. We share the same climate. We are both 4 to 11 degrees north of the equator, so we have virtually the same climate, except that Nigeria doesn't have typhoon. We are a landmass, whereas we are a network of islands. But by and large, I believe that it is inevitable. Philippines had earned favorable reports from all the international agencies when it comes to economic rating. All those 3 agencies similarly have rated Nigeria. Philippines has an economy that is going on the average of 6.5 to 7. It's the second fastest growing in Asia now. Nigeria has an economy growing at an average of 7% of its GDP and would become, in another 2 years, the biggest economy in Africa. So we have things to exchange, ideas to exchange, raw materials to exchange, technology to exchange.
On matters of political partnership and diplomatic partnership, how do you see the partnership between the Philippines and Nigeria in the next few years?
I can see it getting stronger. And I believe that given the determination of Philippines to strengthen its market, to become a big player politically, internationally, and to adopt diplomatic methods for solving some of the domestic problems in Asia, it is inevitable that Philippines and other countries, particularly Nigeria, will have a deeper relationship. And we in Africa are asking for permanencies in the Security Council. And Nigeria is in the forefront of this and hopes that it can get one of these permanencies whenever the Security Council gets reorganized. Of course, we need support of friends like this, friends that have stood by us. When we wanted to become the president of UNESCO, Philippines was behind us. When we wanted to become the president of the International Civil Aviation Organization, Philippines was behind us. So we have collaborated so much. So I can see a greater growth, a deeper growth, a wider growth in our political relationships.
Nigeria in diaspora, organization which the national government of Nigeria created for all the Nigerians in abroad, not only in the Philippines, but worldwide. And the purpose of this is to recognize the professionalism of Nigeria wherever they reside and the privilege which can be brought to the home country. There's a say that don't ask for what your country can do for you, but rather what you can do for your country. Our home country, Nigeria, needed all of us who are in abroad. And that is the main purpose why the diaspora organization was formed by the home government, because a lot of us who stay here in abroad, we have experiences. A lot of us are professional. I live in the Philippines for almost 30 years. Yes, and there are a lot of opportunity here. Nigeria has a lot to benefit from the Philippines. And I'm one of the privileged few who have so many friends. The Filipinos are very, very friendly. The first time I came to this country was actually not as a tourist. I was supposed to go to Australia to continue my study. But because of the hospitality of the Filipino at the airport, I decided to stay here. And I never regretted it. Thank you very much, the Filipino. On the behalf of the Nigerian here, I say, Mabuhay, Philippines. Thank you so much. Yes, there are a lot of opportunity back home, and that is the purpose of this Nigeria in diaspora. Wherein majority of the Filipino company have enormous opportunity in Nigeria.
Maraming salamat sa iyong pagtunghay dito sa bahagi ng panayam ng ating mga personalidad at mga resource persons na nasa likod ng mga balita. Marami pang balita at talakayan sa pagpapatuloy ng Balitaan.